Okay. All right. But yeah, so if you go in and put y'all do the math for me because I'm not for sure, 100% sure. But if you go in and put $100 down on this, will you get $3,000? That's $3,000, right? So if you put $1,000 down, that'll be 30,000, right? Am I doing the math right on that? That's 30,000. If Shedeur wins the Heisman, that's 30,000. So it might be even. I got to find out the odds for Travis Hunter. So on Thursday nights, we're going to start talking about this stuff on Thursday. Oh, hold on. No. My bad. I lied to y'all. On Wednesday nights. So after ladies' night, we're going to let the ladies do their thing for like first hour, 2 hours if we really cooking. But after that, we're going to cut it off and we're going to start talking about bets and stuff. And I think Shedeur has a chance, y'all. Because I don't think people really understand what just happened with Shedeur. Shedeur just put up Jackson State numbers in the Big 12. Now, the Big 12 is not known for defense. But the Pac-12, my bad. The Pac-12. The Pac-12 is not known for defense. But the Big 12 ain't known for defense either. The Big 12 and the Pac-12 are almost the same conference when it comes to defense. Right? But the Big 12 had more big guns in it. Dang, hold on. My bad. I'm saying the wrong stuff, dog. I got changing these conferences got me confused right now. I'm discombobulated right now, but we're gonna get it right. So the Pac-12 had more big guns in. You can look at Oregon and USC, and you can kind of say Utah. Even like UCLA. So you had some teams in there that they had the ability to get 4 and 5 stars. The two teams that could get 4 and 5 stars in the Big 12 was Texas and Oklahoma. They just vacated. So now, I'm not going to say Kansas and Kansas State can't get 5 stars, but they don't really do it that often. They just keep a ball and strike. They don't do that often. There's no team in this conference that gets 5 stars that often, including Colorado. Until the arrival of Coach Prime, all that might change, right? So, but what Coach Prime has done and the staff did a great job of bringing in talent to surround Shedeur with. If Shedeur put up Jackson State numbers last year, even better interceptions, and now that we're going back and we're looking at the offense, we see he didn't have check down valves. He didn't have little guys he could duck the ball off. So that's another reason why he was getting sacked so much. And the offensive line wasn't great. So those two reasons have been, well, I know the offensive line has been addressed. Pat Shermer, I think with his 20 years of experience, he's a judge. He has check down valves for Shedeur, so he won't get hit as much. I know that has to be a top thing on their concerns of how we're going to fix this to keep Shedeur upright. So he has to have a lot of check downs, right? But what I see with the wide receivers that Shedeur has, the elite ability that Shedeur has, with the running game that we should have, with the upgrade of the offensive line, Shedeur might have his best passing year yet. He might have his best passing year. Shedeur might do something ridiculous, y'all. I know we're going to run the ball. I'm not saying we're going to do like we did last year. But what I am saying is Shedeur still might get close to 380 yards a game, 350 a game easy, and we still might rush for over 100. I think we still might have games because the talent level in this conference is not the same as it is in the SEC, as it is in the Big Ten. So I feel like we have a slight advantage. Not a big advantage, but a slight advantage. And when you got a slight advantage with a guy like Shedeur, look what he did in the SWAC. Look what he did in the SWAC. So if he produced the same kind of numbers last year, the same kind of numbers that he did in the SWAC, and he missed 4 games last year. He didn't go to the bowl game. He missed the last 2 games, and he didn't play in the conference game. If he goes to the conference game, I think Shedeur is going to be outright head above shoulders the number 1 guy for the Heisman because he's going to have that extra game to get more stats. With Travis, with LeJounte, with Jimmy Horn, and with Shepard, and you got Miller coming off, and Baby T.O. and Timmons. I think it's Timmons coming off like rotating in with Mathis, and you have the tight ends that's going to cause problems, and you got a bunch of tailbacks that can catch the ball at the backfield. I think Shedeur is going to do a lot of check downs that's going to go for 30, 40 yards sometimes because the guys that he have are elite catchers and they have explosive speed. So even his check downs can go for 20, 30 yards if the offense is ran right. I believe Shedeur is going to do some eye-popping numbers, y'all. So, and listen when I say this. We might not run the ball as much as everybody think we're going to run the ball because you do want Shedeur to win the Heisman. If Shedeur wins the Heisman this year, you know how many quarterbacks now say, "Oh, if I go to Colorado, I can win the Heisman and I can be the most publicized quarterback in America." That changes everything for Coach Prime when it comes to recruiting. It's no secret that all these other teams have signed 3 or 4 quarterbacks. In Colorado, we only signed one guy out of high school, and everybody else came through the portal. It's no secret. Why? Because they didn't know what the offensive coordinator was going to do. They didn't know if Coach Prime was going to stay there. And they don't know if they can trust the offensive line. And they don't know if they can really win here. And they don't know if they can really come here and win the Heisman. So if he answers all these questions this year, now the floodgates open. The floodgates open to these quarterbacks. So I believe win games is the number 1 goal. Make sure Shedeur has good stats, but we have to be balanced. How you do that is you do extended handoffs. What I mean by that is you do little shovel passes to the running back in the backfield that still counts as a pass, but the running back is catching the ball behind the line of scrimmage. That still counts as passing yards. When they throw little flares out, when they throw screens, all this stuff still counts as passing yards, but they're really an extension to the running game. So I believe Shedeur will have a lot of short throws, kind of like what Beck had last year, but he's still going to push the ball down the field, so his numbers could give him another like 800 yards. Another 800 yards on the season. So we talking about he might have like 4,800 to 5,000 yards passing. 4,800 to 5,000 yards passing. And that's if our defense isn't playing lights out. If our defense is playing lights out, Shedeur can have probably like 500 to 600 yards passing. I'm not being a fandom fan right now. I'm just telling you what it is. If our defense can get after their quarterback and we can get a bunch of 3 and outs and you keep getting the ball back in Shedeur's hand and our offense get to rolling, we're going to run the score up so fast. We're going to run the score up so fast. And I think we have the defensive ends. I think we have the linebackers. I think we have the safeties. It's still a question mark on the corners, but I believe our corners will make big plays when we need them. I'm not going to say we're going to have lockdown corners. We still waiting on that. But if we have decent corners with these defensive ends, with these pass rushers in the interior, I think we're going to give a lot of these quarterbacks fits in our conference. And you got to understand why I'm saying this. Most of the quarterbacks in our conference are not true passers. We only have one guy besides Shedeur in our conference that's a true passer, and that's the quarterback for Utah. No, let me give you one more. Arizona. So Arizona and Utah, Those two guys. And I might give a slight nod to my man from Oklahoma State. A slight nod. I haven't watched a lot of film on him, but he does sling the ball around a lot. All right. But Utah and Colorado, and I'm going to say Arizona, the quarterback, he leads the show. He has the green light. They want the quarterback to have the ball in his hands. These other offenses, they want to ground and pound and keep the ball on the ground. So if we get a lead on these guys, and these other teams have to start throwing the ball multiple times to keep up with Colorado, everything swings into our favor. Everything swings into our favor. And if this happens, Shedeur becomes the front runner for the Heisman.